Welcome to this week's edition of Kit Plus. We've got a fantastic show for you this week, so stay tuned. Well, welcome this week on Kit Plus. We're going to be focusing on Portsmouth University. And why Portsmouth University? Well, you'll find out throughout the course of the show. We've got three guests with us. Hi, guys. Hi. At the end, we've got Chris Waddington from NewTek, not Portsmouth University, but all will become clear as to why Chris is here. We've got Gary Bown. Hi, Gary. Now, you're a lecturer at Portsmouth.
Right. Yes, correct.
And Mike Parsons,
yes.
you are one of the tech guys there now.
That's right.
But you've gone through the ranks.
I'm a graduate of a television and broadcasting course.
Look at that, a proper graduate sitting right next to me. How honoured am I? Gary, let me come to you first.
Yeah, sure.
For those who don't know, tell us a little bit about Portsmouth University and the sort of relevant courses that you guys offer there.
Yeah, like most universities, we're quite diverse in the subjects that we cover. My particular area is obviously in broadcast, television broadcast. I originally started by looking after a course called Entertainment Technology, which we're very proud of because it had a number of routes through the course. It was very general.
Yep.
So you had a route through for music, for video production, for graphics.
Yep.
And it was the start really of a department that was called Creative Technologies. And it's spawned a number of courses from it. So we had the general course, Entertainment Technology, and then we had developments like the music course that we have, the television and broadcast course, and the games courses as well. So it all came from Entertainment Technology to start with. The television broadcast course is the course that I'm mainly involved with today. And it's from humble beginnings of no cameras to being able to broadcast now a live show at least once a week and be involved in outside broadcasts. So it's grown massively over the few years that we've been running in total.
And you know, things change massively quickly in this industry. It certainly have done over the last 10 years. I mean, literally in 10 years, you've gone from standard definition tape to now we're starting to hit 4K on little memory cards. The internet's become a major distribution network now for TV and broadcast. And how's the university moved with the times in order to keep up to date?
Well, it's moved, as you said, amazingly quickly. When we started the course, 7 years plus ago, we had no means to broadcast. We had the idea and the desire to broadcast. We didn't know how we were going to do it. We couldn't match the BBC, ITV, but to do it at our level, there was nothing there. There was nothing out there that we could use. And then along came with technology the means for us in our level at the university to try and emulate some of the things that were being done in the broadcast world was fantastic for us. And it's boomed and boomed and boomed and gone are the tapes that we used to store away to all sorts of different and amazing technologies that is now almost beyond me, hence why we have people that are a little bit more switched on into terms of the technology and the requirements these days, because it's absolutely massive, the boom over the last few years. Trying to keep up with it's the hard thing.
Absolutely. Now, Mike, you've gone through the courses at the university, and I'm imagining that 10 years ago or so, then you come out of a course with a lot of theory. You knew about how to do things, but now you can set things up and you can actually do a live broadcast from the university itself. So you come out with saying, well, I've done this. I've actually been able to produce these shows on a regular basis. You've set up a studio recently there.
Yes.
Now this is, I've got it called, it says it's in the hub. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yes. Well, the building that the faculty is based in is called Eldon Building.
Yeah.
And just this time last year, they had a new wing added to the building with like an open plan foyer.
Yeah.
And it came about, this idea from Gary actually, that we should have a open studio in this area. Roughly last year, we did some outside broadcasts in this hub. Lots of people got involved, saw what we were doing, and therefore the idea came about that actually we should regularly have broadcasts from this area. We have our dean and the faculty who agreed that this would be a really good idea, a great way to show off the faculty for anyone coming into the reception of the building. So on the Friday mornings now, during our live shows, we're down there with all the equipment out, and students basically broadcasting as part of the live show, sending a feed from that studio upstairs to our main gallery, which is then mixed into our live show, so people can now see what's going on. And it provides as well a physical studio space. Our studio, we have 2 studios basically. Our main studio upstairs is based around a virtual studio with a green screen and a Tricaster 860, which we use the virtual sets to power that side of the studio. So then downstairs we've added the more traditional side of the studio, where recently we had live karate in that space. We've had obviously all sorts of live interviews. I think we're going to have live cooking coming up soon. So it's a physical space that enables us to offer both sides of the studios, and a great space to do and have an audience as well to see what we're doing basically.
So when you're looking to equip a new studio, you mentioned you've got a Tricaster in one of them. What are you looking at from equipment? I mean, obviously you're probably not going to go and say, I'm going to go and get 6 red cameras with big prime lenses on or something like that. You want to get the right kit. What are you looking at kit-wise when you spec up one of these?
This particular studio had to be done on a budget. So some of the kit was purchased was new, which is certain kit which Gary spec'd up. We had the auto script prompting systems and Vincent pedestals that had been brought in. But we also had to utilise some of our kit which had been replaced. So our upstairs studio recently had a revamp with a new Tricaster 860. So the old Tricaster 300 that was in that space, rather than it go into a box and not be used, has been given a new lease of life downstairs.
Gotcha.
So along with that, we added new DMX lighting to the studio space as well, and we'd already got used to using Sony radio microphones. So new microphones were purchased to work with the new studio. So we have a Mackie sound desk, which links into our Tricaster. So it was a mix of equipment to bring it in on the budget, which I'm sure Gary can talk about how much we had to spend there, and therefore why we.
Yeah, so I mean, typically it was done as cheap as we could, and as Mike said, it was a means of buying some new kit with the budget that we had. That was about 25k that we had, and using existing kit, and then trying to emulate as close as we can to industry practice. So we've got the roles and the positions there for the students to take on board.
Gotcha.
And the whole philosophy behind it was to bring the studio to the people, so that the public, because public can come in the building, staff and students on other courses, have no idea of how to make TV programmes. So they see a television on the wall, a plasma screen or whatever, and they see this perfect production, and they don't know the chaos behind it. So we show them the chaos.
Gotcha.
And they can see that it's organised chaos, and it's always been very popular. It looks exciting, it looks sexy, and they can see when times are quite difficult in terms of the pressure that students are under to make the shows, and how they then adapt to that, and they recover from difficult times, still to produce that lovely, perfect show. And to have it right in front of them, it's very, very popular. So that was the purpose of bringing it down to the public.
Chris, I'm going to come over to you now. Now, they mentioned that they've got a Tricaster at the heart of this new hub, and this is one of the key things with Tricaster, isn't it? You know, Gary's mentioning how fantastic it all looks on screen, and this is where the Tricaster comes into its own, isn't it? It's the ability of taking all these inputs, whether it's audio and video, and be able to create something that looks broadcast quality.
Exactly. Yeah, having that ability to, it's all about, creating that production value,
Yeah.
you know, and really refining that production value and being able to mix between lots of different types of camera. You know, again, you know, not everyone has the ability to go out and buy all new cameras.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to be able to make do with some new models, some
Yeah.
older models. You know, you've got to balance those. You know, make sure the pictures look as close as you can possibly get them. You know, you're going to want to put graphics over the top. You're going to want to roll VTs and VTs. We call them VTs now.
Yep.
You know, roll you know, pre-recorded content, and then also, you know, get that out to an audience. And how do you do that? You know, I mean, you know, not everyone has a satellite dish or transmission on top of their building. So people now want to push to social media. They want to stream that content because, you know, the way people watch, you know, live content and recorded content is changing. I mean, I watch TV, but I probably consume most of my TV through the internet, through my mobile devices, my tablets, my phones, because I'm on the road a lot. So my watching habits have changed in some respects, and the way that I want to access that content has changed. So, yeah, products like the Tricaster make it ability to broadcast to a much greater audience, and I guess really also a global audience as well. You know, you no longer, you know, you don't have that restriction on geography anymore. So, yeah.
I think it's flexibility as well, because what I'm looking for and why I bought the Tricaster was that we try to emulate as much as we can industry practice, but also we need now and again to pick it up and take it away and move it somewhere else. Tricaster gave me that ability because I could use it very much as an individual piece of kit, or I could break it out into its relevant roles and the students could use and therefore get the experience of that. So it's versatility in that was superb.
Yeah, I would agree. You know, I completely agree. I mean, you know, we talk about a lot of the time Tricaster, you know, one person can switch an entire show and they can produce an entire program. And that is true, but as you say, the ability, you know, especially in your environment where you have to train lots of different people, you know, you can't just have one person doing everything. You need to break out those roles and, you know, do best practice. So the ability to segment, you know, maybe, handling the recording aspects, maybe one person doing the graphics, one person doing the sound, you know, you need to be able to break those out. So yeah, exactly, having that flexibility within something like a Tricaster, of course, is, you know, is very beneficial.
I think what's really important as well is the students can use it. I mean, I do sessions with them normally in about 45 minutes. I can take them through the basics of how to use the Tricaster, how to bring their media in, how to mix with the Vision Mixer, how to set up their virtual sets. And the fact is, you can produce quality-looking content with a piece of kit which the students can get to grips with in a relatively short amount of time. And I think that's what's important as well, especially if when time is of the essence as well, and you say you might only have 45 minutes to show them how to use that before they have to get on with the rehearsal. So I think, you know, that's...
And in the end, what you're wanting the students to be able to come out with is saying, I know how a gallery works, I know how a Vision Mixer works, I know how the VT playout systems and the lower third systems and the virtual set systems work, excuse me, and with a unit similar to or like a Tricaster, you've got that all in, so you can say, well, here is a full TV studio gallery, and we can show you all the bits. Prior to this, you would have had to have a full TV studio gallery, which is not something you can move around. So obviously they get the experience. In the end of this course, what do you hope the students get out of after they've done it? 3-year course?
3 years.
3 years. At the end of this 3-year course, what are you looking to the students to have gained from this?
Multi-skilling. Multi-skilling is the main thing. When I was looking to get into the industry a number of years ago, it was very much a camera person was a camera person. These days they expect camera, lighting, sound. So we try to do as much multi-skilling as we can with our students. So they see the big picture.
Brilliant.
And they can then have the opportunity to try to specialise, to focus as much as they can within certain areas, but we do want multi-skilling.
And I can say as a graduate that when I started the course as a student, I'd done basic editing using Pinnacle Studio. I'd never used Avid before. I'd used manual cameras, but in the auto settings, and 3 years later I left the course as a certified Avid user. I'd learned how to shoot with a camera using the professional settings, how to record sound, having worked on OBs, got into vision mixing and directing, and obviously came out at the end of the 3 years in a position where I could then actually support that and develop my knowledge. So, you know, across that 3 years, the multi-skilling You know, I can tick now a huge number of boxes of roles, which I couldn't do when I started the course, but when I finished the course, you know, I may have chosen to specialise in, you know, very much interesting in the post and the outside broadcast, but I can still do camera and sound and producing, and so I think, you know, if you like, I'd like to think that I can kind of echo what you said and actually say, yeah, it's true, you know.
It makes him a better person.
So you've got this studio, it's all set up in the hub. We talked about things constantly moving and changing. Do you have any plans for the future on how you're going to progress and keep up with current technologies?
Yes, I mean, we're always looking to expand. So we'll be looking at upgrading the Tricaster at some stage. We have some images of the set. At the moment, there's no background as such. We just have a wall. We're waiting for the background to arrive from Italy. It's on its way. We're having new lights being fitted. We're also developing a new course, which is broadcast journalism. Right. So there'll be regular news items and productions from down in that space as well. So there's a lot planned for the future, which is good.
I have a little note here. You're looking at doing a radio station as well.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we have an input from a local radio station in Portsmouth that is part of the course, which is Express FM. But we want to do some more in-house work. So to supplement the external teaching, we want our own studio, our own radio studio. So it has been set up. It's ready to go. We wanted something different. We don't want it just pure music. We have a union, Pure FM, in the university, which is run by students, which is superb, and it's about music and talk, and that's fine. We have Express, which is again outside, and which is music and talk. We're looking to do something slightly different, which is using the skills from within the faculty. So getting people to talk about their projects, getting them to talk about creative writing, using the skills from within. So it'll be more of a talk type style radio station. Brilliant. And we're looking to develop it as a bolt-on to the broadcast TV.
Great. Now, one other thing that's coming up on 27th of January is the ITTP conference, which I believe you're a bit involved in. Tell us a little bit about that, and what that's all about.
The ITTP was a great opportunity for the industry to talk to the educators. And to actually find out, are we teaching the right thing? And from the other side, are you expecting, or what are you expecting from students? And there was obviously quite a gap between it. And it's the early days at the moment, but trying to find that synergy now to make sure that we're doing what's right for industry, and the industry is obviously prepared for the experience of the students coming in as well. It was a great conference, and future conferences, I think, are really going to support the students' development well. There were things like a certain speaker was talking about in the past, that a lot of students were coming into the studio, a physical studio, not understanding electricity and the dangers of it and the uses of it on the kit. And you just reinforced again, are we actually teaching that correctly or not? To which we are, I'd like to say. So it was a great support for that, to make sure that we are working together, to make sure that these guys come out multi-skilled and servicing the industry.
Brilliant, Gary, that's great. We're coming up to the end here, but if people want to find out more information about Portsmouth University and your range of courses, is there a website they can go to?
Well, we've got the CCI channel website, which is where our live TV programmes take place, which is www.ccIchannel.port.ac.uk. On there's also links to the course, which is BSc Television and Broadcasting, but more information about that can also be found at the university website, which is www.port.ac.uk. And on there you can search for television and broadcasting, and there's information there about the course as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Chris has got you here. Obviously, Tricaster's being well used by Portsmouth University. People want to find out a bit more about your Tricaster range. Whereabouts can they find that?
Just go to our website, www.newtek.com.
Brilliant. Chris, Gary, who's been attacked by a plant throughout the whole of the show.
All the way through.
Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much. If you want to find out more, go and have a look at the websites. You find out more about the amazing Portsmouth University courses and, of course, the Tricaster range as well. We've been putting these videos up, and our shows are going to be constantly coming out to you, so keep a track of those. They will be at our website, which, of course, is kitplus.com. You'll find a video there about the new Tricaster Mini. That's worth having a look at, I can tell you. In the meantime, we'll be back another time with another show for you. Take care.